Welcome back to another episode of Health Hacks as I continue sharing with you the powerful functional medicine lab testing that is available to you that can be mailed to your home in order for you to get answers to some of the health issues that you may be experiencing, or you just want a baseline of where things are at when you're feeling amazing. And this information is super helpful. So today I want to talk to you about food sensitivity lab testing. And this is really helpful information to have because so often as children, we innately knew what our body did well with and didn't do well with, and could digest easily and not digest easily. And all of our microbiomes are as different as our fingerprints. And yet our family, out of convenience, was feeding us the same food as every other member of our family. And we might have been saying, I really don't want to eat this. And our parents weren't hearing us because they made the meal. They want to make sure that you're not starving, that you're eating a well-balanced meal. And they may have been telling you, children are starving in Africa, eat everything on your plate. And when you hear that over and over again as a young child, you start to override your own body's innate mechanisms telling you of the foods that your body doesn't do well with. And so then you just start eating them through the rest of your life. You may not feel great after eating them. However, you don't really connect it to a specific food, because when it comes to food sensitivities, we don't have an immediate reaction the way we do with an allergy. The reaction can show up 24 to 72 hours later, and it can be as simple as things like brain fog or skin rashes or just feeling lethargic or discomfort in our gut. And because we eat so many different foods in any given day, we can't necessarily pinpoint it down to one particular food until such time where we get into adulthood. And now, due to stress in our life and our toxic load, and we've continued eating these foods that our body doesn't love, our body will create bigger symptoms because it's going, enough is enough. I can't handle all of this. Something has to give. And at that point, you might be dealing more with constipation, with diarrhea, with real discomfort after every meal, and other such gut-related symptoms. And that might be when you want to run this lab test to see, okay, what foods could I be sensitive to that I'm not aware of, that maybe I'm eating more often than I should be. And that's really helpful to know, because every time you eat food that your body is sensitive to, it creates inflammation. And the more unhealthy your gut is, the more food sensitivities you are likely to develop. So that's another reason why in adulthood you may discover that you have more sensitivities than you had when you were younger. It's because of the imbalance in your gut. And so running this lab along with the next lab I'm going to be talking about, the gut health lab, is really helpful for people to get to root cause. And it's a very simple lab to run. It's a blood spot card, and it's very easy to read. And I'm going to share my screen with you just to show you. It literally shows you 190 different foods. You can see the scale here. Green is normal. Yellow means a low sensitivity. Orange means a moderate sensitivity. And red means a high sensitivity. And it breaks it down into the different food categories. So you can see a bunch of foods here in dairy. This particular person didn't have any trouble with dairy. Often we do see elevated scores in the dairy category. And we've got beans and peas. It goes through fruits. It will go through grains. Again, we often see elevated levels in grains. And then it goes into fish and seafood, as well as meat and fowl. You can see this particular person has a high intolerance to egg white, and that is the third most. The first two most common food sensitivities are grains and then dairy, and then eggs are the third. And people often have figured out grains and dairy for themselves, and then this reaffirms this for them. The eggs are often a surprise for people when they find that here in this lab. And so just knowing this means we can make adjustments in our diet and get the egg out of our body to give our body some time to heal, to bring inflammation levels down. When we have a high intolerance like this, we will remove it for 3 months. Give the body that time to heal and recover, and then we can reintroduce, and perhaps we eat it less often. It's not that we can never eat it again. This person also has a low level to getting into the moderate level of sensitivity to almonds. There's some sensitivity to sesame seeds. There's low sensitivity to peanuts. In the nuts and seeds category, we also go through many vegetables, as well as herbs and spices. And then there's some miscellaneous items, as well as yeast and candida, this being baker's yeast, and then candida albicans being candida that's naturally found in our intestinal tract. So this is super helpful, 190 different foods. And so then you can choose to remove those foods that are causing you problems, allow your gut to heal, bring the inflammation down in your body, have you start feeling better. And then because these aren't allergies, it's not that you can't ever eat them again. It's that you do so choosing to eat them less frequently and being more aware of how you do feel in that 24 to 72 hour window afterwards, so that you just know this is how it makes me feel, and it becomes a choice. Do I want to feel that way? If not, then you choose not to eat it. It's really that simple. And if you don't mind how it's going to make you feel, maybe it's the weekend, you don't mind if you're going to have brain fog and just feel like lying on the couch, it's the weekend, that's fine. You're not going to eat it before a big presentation. It becomes your choice. So if you'd like to know more about this lab, reach out to me, Melissa at yourguidedhealthjourney.com, or book a call and we can chat about the best lab testing options for you to address your health concerns or get a baseline for